YouTube, what's happening with y'all, man? Welcome back, family. For those who are new, welcome for the first time. You're tuning in to Mo's Knows. I am your host, Mose. We talk football here on this channel, and today we continue in our series we like to call The Checkup. That's right. We are checking in with all 32 teams as we head towards the start of the 2021 NFL season. Today, we head to LA. We've already did the scrams, so we're focusing on the Los Angeles Chargers. If I had to pick a team to root for in the AFC, outside of the Buffalo Bills, which I mentioned in one of my previous videos, it would be the Chargers. I like the Chargers. I do. They got a few players that I like. Before we touch on that of who's on the roster, who the starter will be, let's take a look at some of the players that they lost this offseason. Let's take a look at some of the players that they added this offseason, and then we'll dive into the starting lineup and some of the players that I'm huge fan of, even though they're not 49ers. Because here at Mo's Knows, we are unbiased sometimes. Let's take a look at the players they lost. Tight end Hunter Henry, a loss for this offense. He heads to New England. A defensive end, Melvin Ingram. They chose not to bring him back. Right guard, Trey Turner. Cornerback, Casey Hayward. And linebacker, Denzel Perryman. Those are some significant losses, if you ask me. Hunter Henry, really good tight end. Melvin Ingram has been a great pass rusher for this Chargers organization. Casey Hayward, he shined when he was in Green Bay. And then he came over to the Chargers and continued to shine as one of the top corners in the league for a little bit. So that's a tough list. That's a tough list of players to lose. So let's see if they were able to kind of balance that out with who they added. So they add center Corey Linsley. He comes over from Green Bay to be the center for Jay Herbo. Tight end Jared Cook. Right tackle, Matt Filer comes over from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Left tackle Rashawn Slater, their first round draft pick, and cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., their second round draft pick. I thought the Chargers had a really good draft. Especially being able to bring those two young guys into the fold. So I would say it kind of balances out a little bit. Yeah. You get one of the top centers in the league. That's a premier position on the offensive line just because they're constantly in communication with the quarterback. The center, I think one of the most underrated and undervalued parts of the game is the center quarterback exchange. Got to have that chemistry between your center and your quarterback. So hopefully they're able to build that and build that quickly. So yeah, I think they added key pieces, got younger. I like the additions. I really like the additions. Okay, let's take a look at that starting lineup. We're going to start with the main attraction on this offense, and that's the quarterback, Jay Herbo, Justin Herbert. You've heard me on this channel. If you haven't, you can go back and take a look at my videos. But you've heard me on this channel talk about how much Justin Herbert got disrespected during his draft class and his draft period. It was absolutely astonishing how much disrespect Justin Herbert received. Talking about he's not a leader, doesn't have a strong arm, doesn't make good decisions, need to work on his accuracy. And while he did make some mistakes as a rookie, first year in the NFL, in a COVID year where, preseason and I think preseason was all but eliminated. Training camp was condensed. What Justin Herbert was able to do last year, absolutely amazing. So I can only see him continuing to grow and continuing to get better. I'm happy for him. He took all that slander. He took all that hate that he received. He put it into his game, and he shut all of the naysayers and the critics up, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. I wanted my 49ers to get him because we needed a quarterback, and I didn't trust Jimmy. But I knew we wasn't going to trade up that far or as far as we needed to get him. So, but listen, I watch Oregon Ducks a lot. I followed him in college, so I was a fan. I was a fan of him over Joe Burrow, even though Joe Burrow had a dynamite season at LSU. I was a fan of him over Tua. I will always be a fan of him over Tua. I just like Justin Herbert as a quarterback better than Tua Tagovailoa. Justin Herbert is that dude. And I know I'm spending a lot of time, and this video might be a little bit lengthy because I'm spending too much time on Justin Herbert. But I just got to show my love and give Justin Herbert his flowers, because all of the analysts and professional scouts tried to kill him during the draft process, and he shut them all up. I love stories like that. Big fan of Justin Herbert. Behind him, starting running back, we have Austin Eckler. Let's take a look at that offensive line up front. We have the rookie Rashawn Slater. I think he's ready to go. We moved Matt Filer from tackle inside to left guard. Again, we talked about Corey Linsley coming over from the Packers. We have Ode Aboshi at right guard, and then Brian Bulaga at right tackle. I think this is a very, very solid offensive line. If you had to say that there was maybe a weak link, you could say it would be Ode Aboshi. But with the strength of this offensive line as a whole, I don't think you'll see much of a drop off with Ode as opposed to the other four offensive linemen. I think as a unit, this offensive line is going to be really, really good. You bring in tight end Jared Cook. Yes, he is a little bit up there in age, but he is an athletic tight end who knows how to run routes. He's a big body who can catch the ball over the middle. He can go up top if he needs to, catch the ball at his highest point. I can see him definitely being a bailout option for Justin Herbert if a play breaks down. Outside, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league, Keenan Allen. Again, I don't understand. Maybe it's just something with the Chargers. I don't understand why Keenan Allen doesn't get enough respect or as much respect as some of his wide receiver counterparts. He should. He's one of the best route runners this league has seen in a long time. He's been consistent, catches the ball. This dude is a beast. So put some respect on Keenan Allen's name. Wide receiver Mike Williams, the man child. I want him to stay healthy for a full 17 games. If Mike can stay healthy a full 17 games, and you got Keenan and Jared Cook, this offense is going to be crazy. And then we got the rookie Josh Palmer, who came in and has made electrifying plays in camp. He showed that he's ready for this level. He showed that he is the third best receiver on this team. So I put him in the slot. I think you'll see a lot of Josh Palmer in this offense as well. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, which is a really, really good defense. Up front, nose tackle, we got Linval Joseph. Bro, Linval's a problem. He gonna clog up that middle. He's going to command 2 and 3 offensive linemen at times. Yes, he's a little bit older, getting up there in age, but Linval Joseph is still Linval Joseph. Don't get it confused. On the outside, we got Jerry Tillery and Justin Jones. This team has moved to a 3-4, and as you see, Joey Bosa has moved to outside linebacker. He will be mostly in a 2-point stance this year, standing up as an outside linebacker, and you will see him dropping into coverage. Now, you might think, I don't want to see Joey Bosa drop into coverage, but it may not be as bad as you think. Of course, he's not a Bobby Wagner or a Devin White or a Fred Warner, but I think he'll be able to if he's dropping into a zone, you're not going to see him in man coverage. You may a few times, just because if that's how a play works, that's how a play works. Mainly, if you see him drop, he'll be dropping into a zone and he'll have a responsibility. And I think Joey is athletic enough to do that. And he wants to do it. He's ready for the challenge. So whenever you're ready for the challenge and you don't back away from it, I think you have more of a probability to succeed than to fail, because you're tackling it head on. You know it's going to be a challenge. You're looking forward to making mistakes so that you can correct them. He strikes me as one of those players, as following the 49ers and his brother, Nick Bosa. When they make a mistake, they want to know about the mistake so that they can learn from it and correct it and not make that same mistake again. So I don't think that'll be a problem. You got the athletic Kenneth Murray. You got Kaiser White, who's been getting a lot of praise playing in this defense. So I have him starting at middle linebacker. And then you got Uchenna Nwosu. I mentioned in the Giants video previous to this, Kyler Fackrell being a player that the Giants lost. I didn't have him on the additions list, but you can add Kyler Fackrell to this Chargers addition. And during the 49ers game, actually, Joey Bosa was talking about Uchenna Nwosu and Kyler Fackrell and how they've been really, really dominant in training camp, in practice, and in the preseason at pass rushing from this outside linebacker position in this new 3-4. So he's excited for those guys. So I have Nwosu getting the start, but you could see Fackrell coming in to spell Nwosu and Bosa to kind of give them fresh legs and keep that pass rush rotation healthy and rested. Outside at corner, we have Chris Harris Jr. and Michael Davis. And then on the back end at safety, another really, really good safety tandem. At free safety, we have Nasir Adderley. And at strong safety, we got my dude, Derwin James. He fell in his draft too. He didn't fall as far as I was just talking about somebody falling in the draft. Maybe it was another video. He fell in his draft too. I felt like, forget it. He fell in his draft too. I felt like they disrespected Derwin a little bit. He should have been drafted higher. The Chargers got a steal because he fell right to them and they ran to the podium and selected him. Derwin is a beast. He can do everything. If he can stay healthy all 17 games this year, if him and Nick Bosa can stay healthy for all 17 games this year, listen, I want the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs, but I want the Chargers to beat them too. I want Jay Herbo to go toe-to-toe with Mahomes, and I want Joey Bosa, Uchenna Nwosu, Linval Joseph, Derwin James, and Nasir. I want them to shut the Chiefs down. I'm sick of the Chiefs. And it's not just because they winning, because they doing good. I'm just sick of them. Sick of the Chiefs fan. I didn't even know my cousin Terrence was a Chiefs fan until they started winning. I didn't know that there were fans that rooted for the Chiefs. Now all of a sudden y'all want to be everywhere. I'm sick of y'all. So I need the LA Chargers to come correct this year. I need the LA Chargers to put a hurting on them Kansas City Chiefs. I'm rooting for them. Big fan, Derwin James. Big fan of Joey Bosa. Big fan of Kenneth Murray. Big fan of Justin Herbert, aka Jay Herbo. And I want to see the Chargers do well. They not in the NFC. They not in the NFC West. They in the AFC West. So I want to see the Chargers do well. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Checkup with the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers fans, I'm rooting for y'all, man. I'm rooting for y'all. Y'all gotta come through this year, and y'all gotta let the Chiefs know that y'all not little brother in the division no more. Y'all coming to stake y'all claim as one of the best in the AFC and one of the best in that division. So I'm rooting for y'all. Y'all need to pull it together. If you excited about your team like I am, tap in with me in the comments. Let me know how excited you are. After you do that, hit the thumbs up button for me. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me. It helps you get to curate the content. I see what you like. I can match it with what I like. We can put it together and we both happy. Next, if you want to connect with me on any of my social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the podcast, Twitch, all of it will be in the description. Whatever your preferred mean is, by all means, please use it. I'm open and available. Love interacting with you guys. We'll never turn that down and say no to that. And the last set of instructions is simple. You clicked on the link, you watched the video, you're family now, and there's nothing you can do about it. But you can make it official by hitting that subscribe button. Then take another 2 seconds and hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops right here in Mo's Notes. Love and appreciate you all, and I'll catch you in the next episode. You be easy.